Show. It's the Barbara Show. Coming your way with a smile today. Down the humorous path with a lark and a laugh. It's the Barbara Show. The Barbara Show. Welcome to Humorous Adventures with Barbara.
Welcome again to the Humorous Adventures with Barbara. Today my topic is buying my first home. It was about 2003. The interest rates were going down and I said to myself, it's now or never, let's do it. And at the time I was working with a UK company. So headquarters was in the UK, and they like to say that they had an office in Silicon Valley. At the time, it was my apartment. So I didn't have much time to spend looking for my new home because I would be, one of my biggest accounts was in New York City. And I had to make sure that everything was running smoothly with the promotions. So this company put me up in a hotel near Times Square, and I pretty much lived in New York City in a hotel and came home once a month just to pay my bills. So that once a month I would be looking for my new place, and I would tell the real estate agent exactly what I wanted, and then she'd take me to these places. It was nothing that I wanted, and so again, I had to wait for another month and hope that she found places for me until finally my best friend from sixth grade said to me, I know a real estate agent in California through my company. She might be able to help you. Sure enough, this woman, and we became best friends because she knew exactly what I wanted. And so when I came home for that one day to look around at places, we would be in and I'd look and it was close, but not really it yet. One woman, as we were driving to the appointment, she said, you really need to come right now because I'm pregnant and I just broke water. We were afraid to go down there as we might have to deliver the baby for her. No. Too scary. So anyway, finally, she finds a place for me. And she said, this place is for you. I saw it. I can't go with you to the open house. I have another big appointment. But trust me, you will go down there to the open house. You'll see it, and you're going to love it. So I'm not one for waking up early in the morning on a weekend. But I was so excited to see this place. I had a feeling she knew this was my place. I get there early. I run. I want to be the first one to the open house. It's about 8 in the morning, and I'm knocking on the door, and no one's there. So I'm a little disappointed. I go back in my car. I'm waiting. I get out. I start knocking on the door again. Still no answer. I called the real estate agent. I said, you told me to get down here for the open house. There would be a lot of people putting bids on this. I'm here. No one's answering the door. I'm waiting. She doesn't call me back. I don't know what to do. I find a supermarket nearby. I do shopping. I come back, knock on the door, nobody. I call the real estate agent again. So I think, okay, I'll drive back home. I'll put my groceries away. I come back, knock on the door, still nothing. I can't believe this. So real estate agent's not answering the phone. No one's answering the door at the open house until finally I see a guy running, and I run after him. He was a little late, but not that late. And he opens the door. And the minute I saw the inside of this place, I said, this is my dream house. You know, when you know it's the one. And so I was really excited to get this place. And so many people were putting offers on different properties at the time, it turned out to be a real bidding war. And at the time, there were 4 bids, and it was decided that on this one day, these 4 people would come into the real estate office, make their bid, and the best one that day would win and be the homeowner. So the day everybody's putting in the bids, my real estate agent has to go into another room and to make a pitch for me to buy. And I'm waiting in another room by myself. And I'm just praying to my team up there, all my relatives who have since passed, my grandmother, my father, my aunts, my uncles. Please, I want this, I want this, I want this. So as I'm doing this in a room by myself, finally my real estate agent comes in and she has this funny look on her face. And she says, "No, we didn't get it." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And then she said, "I'm kidding." And I was ready to kill her. Anyway, we're waiting now, and the owners with their agent are deciding who's going to get the bid. When there's a knock on the door in the office that me and my real estate agent were waiting for the decision, and the seller's agent comes in and says, "You know what? There are 2 bids, you and another person exactly the same. You're just going to have to come up with more money." Well, this was a lot of money for me in the first place. Come up with more money. I'm talking with my real estate agent. What am I supposed to do? Well, we think about a little more money, and I'm waiting for them now to come back to find out what I'm willing to offer. But before that happens, my real estate agent, because she's been in the business for quite a while, said, "We had a deal. The deal was best offer. Not that if you got the same price for both of us, that you could ask for more money." He goes back, and we're sitting again. And then when he came back, he said, "Congratulations, you're a homeowner." And I was like, "Really?" I didn't have to give him more money. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they picked me, but maybe it was because of my team. A little help from my friends. Anyway, I just loved the place, and I just knew it was for me. The funny thing about it is, when I saw that dream house, even though it was the most expensive thing that I would ever buy, I just didn't question it. Because normally, even buying a car, I need to get a group involved to see if this is the right decision for me and if I'm paying the right price. I mean, even my car, and I think the criteria was just to have the lights flip up. But my mother was with me, and she said, "You definitely need air conditioning." And I said, "I want automatic windows." And we're going back and forth, and I got air conditioning. And to this day, I've never let her forget it, because I hate air conditioning. And because I had manual windows, I couldn't make them go down unless I came to a full stop and had to reach way over because the car was so wide. Anyway, go with your gut. That's a tip. So now that I have my wonderful house, it's time to move in. And pretty much they had painted, the place looked half decent, but the medicine cabinet, when you opened it up, it kind of looked a little. So I thought, hey, I can handle this. I've never painted anything, but I can handle the medicine cabinet. I call up a department store just to make sure they have spray paint in white. And when I called up, I said, "I'd like to speak to the paint department." I'm on hold, and finally they answer, "Pet department." I said, "No, I didn't ask for the pet department. I asked for the paint department." They put me on hold. I get transferred. I get the pet department. Forget about it. I go to the store. Yes, they had the spray paint. All right. Now I'm with my mother, and she's helping me unpack, and I am going to paint the medicine cabinet I open it up, I start spraying the white paint, and unbeknownst to me, because I never painted anything before, the paint comes back in my face. And not only does the spray of the paint come back in my face, but it gets in my nostrils, in my nose here, and now I can't breathe. I'm screaming for my mother, Ma, find the nail polish remover. I can't breathe. The boxes that I had moved in weren't marked, and my mother's frantically trying to open the boxes. Of course, it's the last box. And I don't know why the nail polish remover was under a bunch of towels, but she finally found the nail polish remover. I'm like getting a Q-tip and trying to, okay, it worked. That's another tip. If you ever get paint up your nose, make sure you have nail polish remover. So now I'm moved in and I hear like this scratching noise. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm in the living room. And I'm sharing walls with two other people. So I'm listening to this wall, and this wall's not making any noise. And I'm listening to this wall, and it's not making any noise. And then I look up on the skylight, and I see something. It's chewing on my skylight. It's a squirrel. How do I get rid of him? How do I make a move? Idea. I took a TV guide and threw it against the wall, thinking of a vibration would make him run off. No, that doesn't work. I start screaming on the top of my lungs, vibration. No, that doesn't work. So now I think my neighbor's thinking like I'm a raving maniac already, but okay. So, I finally had to call the city because what they told me was once a squirrel starts doing something, he's going to do it again and again. So this is what the squirrel was doing. It wasn't just me. He would come, he would go in my skylight, start scratching it, then go down on a patio, start scratching it. My neighbors thought that this person, me, who just moved in, that I was sawing or making furniture. But no, it was the squirrel. Okay, the city finally got him. The other squirrels I don't care about, they don't do that. So one other thing that I'd just like to end with is squirrels again. I had an internet company that was, for my TV and my computers, and I had wires over the roof, and it wasn't working. So I had to call the company out. And they said, well, we don't go on the roof. I said, what do you mean you don't go on the roof? You put the satellite on the roof and now you're not going on the roof? Well, it seems like the initial company that put the satellite up there, their policy was to go on the roof. The company that acquired this company, their policy was not to go on the roof. And they wanted to put the satellite dish somewhere else, but I had trees and that didn't work. Well, I called them. No, we can't go on the roof. I called them again. I said, listen, you got to come down and go on the roof. Okay, we'll go on the roof. They don't go on the roof. Third time, I called I don't know. I just thought I'd try and maybe, sometimes when you call a big company, you get a different guy that's willing to do something to help you. Because, I don't know, what's the definition of insanity? You keep doing the same thing and getting the same response? But hey, this time it worked. Third time's a charm. I called the company. They had somebody go on the roof. It was fixed. Well, again, I don't know if you learned anything by my tips, but thank you once again for joining me on the Humorous Adventures with Barbara.
Show. It's the Barbara Show. Coming your way with a smile today. Down the